Hey, what up guys? How you doing? It is Lasty here. Welcome today to a new episode of the FIFA 19 Ultimate Team Road to Glory. This is episode number 212, and in today's episode, we're probably not going to be using this squad right here because we do need to go ahead and complete a weekly objective or two, which is going to require us using some silver players. But I always like to start off by, showing you what team we've got, whichever direction it's actually in. If you want to check out yesterday's episode, then you can find that in the top right corner. And of course, don't be afraid to hit that thumbs up button. If any of you wouldn't mind, smashing that thumbs up, showing the support on the series, that would be absolutely epic. Thank you in advance. So I actually got gold 1 in squad battles this week, which is probably the highest finish I've had in squad battles all year. I typically don't play it, but just kind of did a little bit because I think one or two of the weekly objectives required it, and there was a foot swap player available as well, and I just ended up getting to a point where I was at gold 1, so yeah, not too bad, like 11,000 coins. We got the foot swap player, I think we got a kit and 3 packs, which, well, as you can see, we don't actually get really anything from them, but it's 3 packs worth of players and consumables, which are just going to add to the club, which of course is a good thing. I will always take that. So it's taken very minimal effort to get that, and it's just basically been done in the background. Pedro is the final player we get out of the 3rd pack. That was from a premium gold players pack, which, to be honest, they used to be quite good, but nowadays is just like, I don't ever expect to get like a board or a walkout from a 25k pack. But what Squad Battles did do is give us our 7th foot swap player for the month. Now, I am not going for the icon because I already missed one last week. What I am going for is probably Werner and Meunier. I don't know if I'm going to be able to get Werner actually. I don't, because we'll probably end up missing another swap player at some point in time, and I can probably only afford to miss one more for the whole month. But what we can do is go ahead and submit our players to get Meunier, because it's someone which I definitely wanted to get as soon as I saw that was an available option, because I do use Mbappe, and at the moment I've got Neymar as well. There's an option for us that we could maybe make the squad kind of go down that route a little bit. So yeah, welcome Thomas Meunier, and we've also got that Footmas Thiago Silva, foot swap Kazawa, and so we got like a few PSG players which, if the requirements ever wanted us to, we could go ahead and get them. So yeah, we got him. We got ourselves a CDM version foot birthday Thomas Meunier, who is club 80, and basically for kind of doing nothing all month and getting 7 tokens, we've got one hell of a player here for free who goes on the market for like 180,000 coins. So yeah, real good value. I love that, and I will try and fit him into some sort of team featuring a lot of these players in tomorrow's episode, probably. Maybe tomorrow's episode will be us changing our squad around to make him fit in and stuff. So I went and bought an Ipswich kit because I am an Ipswich fan, as you guys know. And I kind of felt the need to make that apparent, because today what we're doing is unlocking 2 Norwich players, and obviously Ipswich and Norwich are rivals, and as much as I really have no care for these 2 players whatsoever, I really don't want them. It is content, it is something to do, and we can play for them, get them, and then we've got 2 players, an 84 and an 86, that I'll happily submit into an SBC. So I built this squad. Silver championship team, and then I realised, oh wait, I needed English ones as well. In order to get it done all at once, I could do with having English players from the championship rather than like anyone from any nation. So yeah, I went and sold the players that I bought by mistake effectively, and then bought English players from the championship. And I don't know if there's some sort of workaround with this one, whether or not you can bring on like crazy gold strikers or anything as substitutes, but I decided that for this one we're going to have literally like a silver bench, not going to bring anyone on, and just have a silver starting 11 of English players from the championship, so that we could kill 2 birds with 1 stone and get both, I don't know the names, Teemu Pukki is one of them, and the other one is something, Aaron something, but we're gonna go ahead and unlock both of them in one foul swoop today by, playing with this team right here. It will switch to a 4-2-3-1 in game, and this is exactly where everyone's going to play. Windass will be the central cam, Patterson out wide, Amiobi out wide, Livermore and Lowe as CDMs, and then the defense as it lines up anyway. So I had a couple players in my club. The rest of them I went out and bought. This is how we'll line up in game, game plan wise. We will have pressure on heavy touch, a little bit of, I like the low width so that my 4-2-3-1 isn't super wide or anything. And then, I realized that actually we're into a new week now, so I might as well use the stocked up, saved up qualification points that I've got to redeem for the weekend league. That way, when I get my rewards in a couple days time, I could just go ahead and re-stack up an extra spare 2,000 points. So the first team we come up against is an all-English silver team, would you believe it? And it is him that strikes first, because I just play it sloppily around from a goal kick 29 minutes in. That was a great run from, I think, Tammy Abraham, because off the ball, it just led to this guy, Andre Green, having a full shot on goal without any obstruction, because I basically moved my defender to try and mark Tammy Abraham. I go 1-0 down. I thought about quitting at half time, just because my rule is typically like a 2-0. If I'm 2-0 down, I'll quit. And this guy was pretty good. Sometimes I might quit at half time as well if I'm 1-0 down, just so that we don't waste each other's time. But I'm glad I didn't, because actually in this game we get a goal, a header from Sammy Amiobi, who is 6'4" out wide there. So I knew that was going to be helpful for us. And then actually we whip it back to him again, who gets another header. And as soon as I started doing that, I was like, okay, that's kind of my go-to thing, because he is 6'4", and I guess he's got alright heading ability, and he's going to outdo the other silver players that I am going to be coming up against. So not having to rely on people's awful shots and stuff is going to be a good thing, because we could just whip it to the back post and Amiobi could fire home for us. So we end up getting the win, and we win 2-1. I'm glad I didn't quit. And I just double checked, am I getting both of the players at once? And yes, I was. So it's weird, because I think Teemu Pukki is actually easier to unlock than, I just saw his name, Max Aarons, which is odd because he's 2 ratings lower. It does seem weird, right? But then again, I don't know. It seems like Pukki, the higher rated one, is actually easier to unlock. I know that we're going to unlock him before we get the other one in this episode. So next team, obviously same again, silver squad, and Amiobi fires us into the lead 23 minutes in. And I'm like, I do like these objectives, because when you find these silver players, every single time you find that one player in your squad who is the gem, who is the one that you're so glad you've got in your team, and it is 100% Amiobi in our squad here. We get a nice goal from Windass. He does go ahead and low driven that one in off the post. Is this any relation to Dean Windass? I wonder. Does anyone know? You could let me know down below. Who used to obviously play for Bradford? Oh, God, don't quiz me, because I don't have that knowledge. I just remember Dean Windass's name. Anyway, my opponent does get a goal back, 5 minutes to go, and really started applying the pressure. But luckily, we were able to hold out, and we get the win, 2-1. And that is going to be 2 out of 4 done for for Pukki, and 2 out of 5 done for Aaron. So that's good. We can move straight on into another one. 2 games played, 2 objectives partly completed. So move on to the next one, and of course it is yet again another English side. I don't really recognise any of them players, so I was pretty confident, because I have a little check through when I'm building the teams. I do try and put together what I think is probably one of the better squads. I am happy to pay 3, 4, 5,000 coins per player if that's what they cost, because typically they're going to sell for that anyway. I'm going to do all of this in one session, and we're going to be all right. Now, this guy was a really good FIFA player. I was 1-0 down and genuinely thought about quitting, because I was kind of getting dominated. I'm not going to lie. He was well good on the passing. I couldn't really make anything happen in the attacking sense. And then I get through here, play it into Patterson, manage to just shoot on the turn, and I get back in the game. So I'm like, well, I'm not quitting at half time then, because actually it's 1-1. You know, we need to stay in this one. We need to try and make something happen. But there wasn't much going on at either end. It was just my opponent was good on the possession and stuff. However, early doors in the second half, Windass doing work down the wing, plays it into Roof, who knocks it into Amiobi, turns that defender and just bangs it, and it's a goal. The gem has struck again. It is the left foot of 6'4" Sammy Amiobi, and that was enough for me to hold on to this game, end up coming away with the victory against someone who I thought was better than me. So yeah, that one felt pretty lucky, although you can see the game was actually fairly even at the end of the 90 minutes. So next game, another one, 4-2-4 this time though, so pretty attacking. My opponent has also got a little stat card on the goalkeeper and one on the striker as well. So I was hoping that I would beat this guy, because I don't really like the people that use the stat cards, but it was only a couple, so, you know, we'll let him slide for that one. I whip it into the box with Patterson, and Amiobi's like chilling on the edge. So I'm like, what are you doing, mate? But Roof is there to head home anyway, and we get that back post header to go 1-0 up. Now, I think this might be the game. Yeah, it is the game, where all of my goals are headers, and I don't think my opponent likes it. And I didn't expect all of my goals to be headers, actually, because he pretty much runs straight down the other end after I scored, and 6 minutes on the clock's got himself a nice little kickoff goal equaliser. So I probably scored a kickoff goal, and he's scored one against me as well. So yeah, we're even right now. But I play it down the wing again, and for some reason Windass is the one that locks onto that. He gets it, cuts it inside, and a big head from Patterson, who is not very tall, not great in the air, and was a terrible angle for that one. So I was like, okay, maybe with Silver's head is actually OP, because the goalkeepers are just pretty terrible, and so are the centre backs. But Windass whips one back post, and that one I fully knew what was exactly was going to happen there, and that was that my man Amiobi was going to get that third goal. So 3 headers, and my opponent probably has the 2-goal rule again, where if he goes 2 goals behind, then he will go ahead and rage quit. Thank you very much. So that one was our 4th game in a row, which means we unlock Pukki. We unlocked Teemu Pukki, who used to be a complete legend on FUT. Like, I remember there was a silver inform back in the day when he played for, was it Schalke? God, I can't remember if that's right or not. And I used to love him. He was a super rare, super expensive silver, and I had a lot of time for him. And he had to go and play for Norwich, didn't he now? I know a lot of you Norwich City fans out there probably loving that Ipswich got relegated, but it is what it is. One day we'll be back to play you again. The next game, similar story, similar squad that we match up against. Livermore strikes, but it comes off a defender, Chalobah actually, who plays for Ipswich. And we get a second go at the corner, and it is headed home there. And I'd really dominated for this first part of the game, and so I wasn't surprised when he did quit at 1-0. When you just take a look at the stats here, I think I had like 60-something% possession. Oh, I've cut it too short. And then like 6 shots in the first 20 minutes. He'd had nothing in the game. So not surprised that, you know, when we were at different skill levels there, he quit and he can move on to his next game. And I get my player nice and quickly. So with complete and utter minimal effort this week, we've gone ahead and unlocked an 80 rated special item, an 84 rated special item, and 2 86s. Collins, who I think looks the best out of all of them. His stats look very good, including that 91 physical. But yeah, Sammy Amiobi was definitely my MVP. Absolutely loved him. Great in the air, 6'4", 4-star skills. If you're going to do that this week, then I would definitely recommend going and getting him. I've already sold him, so I'm not trying to make coins off him or anything by saying that. But he was just the gem in the squad of the English players. So that pretty much wraps things up for today's episode, guys. We've used our Silver Championship players. We've unlocked 2 extra Player of the Year items, and we're good to go. They're in the club. They're ready to be thrown into an SBC whenever one comes up that I think will work for us. I'm not going to do Podolski because I just won't have a use for that. However, he does look pretty mental, and he has got great shooting and stuff. But that's more one for Zweiback, right? You know, obviously, I'm sure he was ecstatic to see that Podolski had come out as a flashback item. Guys, do me a massive favor, hit that thumbs up on today's video, share it around with all your mates and stuff. Don't forget to subscribe, follow the Twitter, follow the Insta, they're down below in the description. Have a lovely day, most importantly everyone, and I will catch you next time. Peace.